When it comes to Sarajevo, many content creators focus on Old Town or Stari Grad and the Muslim Ottoman contribution. They often overlook the Austro-Hungarian contribution, the Christian contribution, and the Jewish contribution in the city. Not me. In this second part of my 8-part series on Bosnia-Herzegovina, I'll be showing you the historic churches for Serbs and Croats Christians, the synagogues, the famous cemeteries, the beautiful markets and shopping complex, the super modern side of this fascinating city, and much more. Sarajevo truly is where East meets West, and there's even a line that marks the border between the Ottoman-era Bashchasия and the more modern Austro-Hungarian quarter at the beginning of Fërhajia, the main boulevard where the Bezistan is. As you cross the meeting of cultures line, notice the difference in the color of the stone pavement. White on the Ottoman side and dark grey on the Austro-Hungarian side. Some say there's actually a temperature difference in the summer as the dark grey stone absorbs more heat. Austro-Hungarian quarter boasts neat blocks of grand neo-Renaissance mansions and Art Nouveau buildings. Sacred Heart Cathedral of the Roman Catholic, Cathedral Church of the Nativity of the Theotokos for the Serbian Orthodox, Eternal Flame, and more. Three, four, five, six, 7 cats. 7 cats all in one place. How amazing is that? So many in one place. So many in one place. That's awesome. One cool and modern shop at the start of Fërhajia is Symbol, which sells the official merchandise of the Bosnia and Herzegovina national football team. So this was the Bosnian top which I was gonna buy, the national top, the original. This is the official store. I came last week, but unfortunately I went to Mostar and I thought I'd come back from Mostar and buy. Now they don't run out of the sizes, so lesson learned: when you like something and it's available, go for it. Do not be stupid like me. Missed out. And what can I do? I have to buy a cheaper one now. So that was the original shop, just a little bit down the road. And this is the alleyway that I went to last time. I think my fate is written to buy one from here. Let's see if I can get a discount from the guy. Last time I came here, he wanted to charge me 40 marks, which is roughly about £20. Whereas I could have bought the original for 60 marks. So let's see if he'd do it for 35 or 30 at least. Okay, my size is that, yeah? Okay, what size is that? Medium, yeah, medium should fit. Jacko, how much? Everything's fit. Oh, brother, last time I came is 40, now it's 45. Yeah. Do 35. Hello? Do 35. No. No, wait. I do want it. I literally came last week and it was 40. Now he's put it up to 45. This man is on another level. But I do love it, man. I do love it. Do I buy it? Do I not buy it? You know, fuck it. You know, I don't make the same mistake again. It should be 30. It's fake. But it's got Jacko. I've seen him when I was in a thing, what you call it, when I used to watch a little bit of Italian football and whatnot. Quality player, striker, number 11. Other places selling for 40 marks. But anyway, I'm gonna buy it. Go for it, inshallah. Let's go. I'll show you what I look like. Time to try it on. See what I look like with Mr. Jacob. Size medium. Bosnia. Bit on the long side, but nice fitting. Jacob at the back. You know what? Fuck it. Let's make the man happy. It was 40 marks only last week. It's 45 now, but let him be happy. I'm happy. He's happy. Let's go for it. Okay, brother. He's still got the phone in his hand, on his thingy, on his ear, like a typical Yemeni Arab lady mother. He's in Liverpool. They're pushing the pram one day, and that's it, yapping away. My man's the same. He's more interested in talking than saving the customer. But yeah, bit of a character. No nonsense as well. But yeah, I look good. I look good in Bosnian top.
Je te laisserai tes mots en dessous de ta part, en dessous de la mur qui chante, tout près de la place où des pieds passent, cachés dans les trous dans ton divan, et quand tu me sors pendant l'instant.
I've got the football tops on. I play football, but my man's on another level. Well done, Anton. Well done, lad. Well done. That's incredible. Amazing. Amazing, brother. Amazing. Amazing, amazing. What's your name? Is
Anthony.
it Anthony? From Mexico?
Yes, 100% from Mexico.
Oh, okay. How long you been in Bosnia, brother?
Like for how long?
Yeah, how long you been here?
I don't know. That's my current I think my 5th time here.
Fifth time here. Oh, you're only here tourist as a tourist. Oh, okay,
not
whatever.
Really as a tourist, but not really living here.
Okay.
It's like a mix of both. No problem.
How did you come up with this? This is incredible. Your style is phenomenal. It's like dancing, ballet, and football.
I think at the beginning I was just doing tricks with the ball, and then I always started to try to express something, not just to do the skills. Okay. And then I come up with the idea to try to dance with the ball, and yes, that's it.
Amazing, bro. How old are you?
Older than you expect.
Okay, okay. Let's leave it at that then. Okay. You look 18. No, much more. Go on. Tell us your age.
25.
25. Wow, he's still a baby. Listen, I just want to say, well done. My brother is very talented. Everyone support him. He's incredible.
Thank you so much.
What he did with the football there, I don't think I've ever seen combined ballet with football. So well done, my brother. Well done, my brother.
It was a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
My name's Abdus. My name is Abdus Samad. I'm from Liverpool, England. I'm originally from Bangladesh.
Okay, great.
I'm making a travel video on Bosnia, my first time in Bosnia, in Sarajevo and Mostar.
Is it for YouTube something?
Yeah, just to show finger people and think
Send me a link and I will support your channel and all this
I will
video.
send him the link myself. My link is Londony, but I'll send you
Yes,
if it's
please.
official. And I'll actually exchange now. But listen, look, support my brother. He's amazing.
Yes.
Next to the Meeting of Culture street sign is a cool spin and go wheel which is easy to miss. I didn't spot it in the first couple of days. You can spin the wheel and let it decide which direction you should go, east or west. Thank you. Bit of both. East and west.
East, west.
East, west. There you go. Thank you, brother. East, west. East is Bangladesh, west is England, and I am both in the middle. How ironic. There are two mighty churches 5 minutes away from each other. The Serbian Orthodox Church, the Cathedral Church of the Nativity of the Theotokos, and the Roman Catholic Church, the Cathedral of Jesus Sacred Heart. The Cathedral Church of the Nativity of the Theotokos is dedicated to Mary, who Serbian Christians consider the Holy Mother of God, or Jesus. It's the largest Orthodox church in Sarajevo and one of the largest of its kind in the Balkans. The foundation was laid in 1863 and the building consecrated in 1872. It's built in neoclassical style with 5 Neo-Byzantine domes inside. Designed by Andrea Damjanovic, a famous builder and painter from Macedonia, who was a member of the reputable Lenzovsky family. They had designed, painted the murals, and did the wood carvings in many churches all over the Balkans, from Macedonia to Bulgaria and from Turkey to Bosnia. I thought it'd be just a standard church design inside, but when I stepped in, my jaw dropped. The golden warm color palette, the intricate design, and the radiance of the church was truly captivating. This mid-19th century church was built as a request from the city's Serbian community, with funds raised by local Serbian merchants and contribution from the Ottoman ruler as well as the Russian Tsar. As I walked up to the paintings of all these 69 important figures in Christianity, the level of detail was incredible. I felt I was taken back 2 centuries and I was in a hall in their presence. These magnetic iconostases were a gift from the Russian imperial family. They were made by Russian craftsmen in 1869 in the famous Trinity Lavra or monastery of St. Sergius near St. Petersburg in Russia. Many other things inside the church, such as the fittings, church plate, Christ's tomb, and wooden fixtures were a gift from wealthy Sarajevo families. The church was damaged during the war of the 1990s, but was rebuilt soon after the war ended. I am a Muslim, and this Cathedral Church of Sarajevo is one of the best buildings and architecture that I've ever seen. Absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous place. Awe-inspiring. Love it. Outside the church is a small but very beautiful Liberation Park which I stumbled upon by accident. I just didn't expect to find it there, as flat space is a rare commodity in Sarajevo and almost all are taken by businesses and hotels. This Serbian Orthodox church and the small park was one of my personal highlights in my whole Bosnia-Herzegovina trip. I'll never forget my first experience of going inside the church. The brother who worked at the reception was a quiet but warm and friendly chap. Watching the uncles play their large game of chess in the park and with the backdrop of the church, bickering and masterminding like young childhood friends, brought a smile to my face. The whole thing had the aura and nostalgia of a village in the heart of the capital city. I have no idea who's winning. I can barely play normal sized chess, let alone this gigantic one, but that is so cool. That is so cool. I've never seen this before. I've seen like, you know, big sized chess games and, you know, as in amusements and, you know, things like that, but to see people playing live is sick. It really is. Let the battle begin. Let the battle begin. Here we go. Sorry. They're playing chess like the way I play chess. Bang, bang, bang. No waiting. None of that bloody thinking for 400 years. Just get on with the damn game. You know? That's why I always lose. First hit to him. My man's on fire. There's some tactical messages going on there. Uh-oh, he's on fire. He's on fire. He's doing a cheeky one there. He's putting it back. Ah, the reset's in again. You joking me? And thank you for this, brother. Very nice. Well done. Okay, hvala. Hvala. Okay, ciao. Sitting in the park and seeing local people get along with their day-to-day tasks was one of my favorite things to do. I look forward to the day I can do this again. Five minutes walk from the Serbian Orthodox Church, just off Hagia Street, is the Cathedral Church of Jesus' Sacred Heart. It was completed in 1889 and took 5 years to build. It was designed by Joseph Vankas, a Hungarian architect, in Neo-Gothic style. Joseph took his inspiration from the Notre Dame Cathedral in France and Saint-Étienne Cathedral in Czech Republic, but his design is authentic in its own way. Inside, the main altar is dedicated to the heart of Jesus and other saints. And while Joseph Vankas had designed the altars, the stained glass windows, and pulpit, other sculptors and painters were also involved in this mega project, such as sculptor A. Hosman of Vienna, sculptor Dragan Morak, stonemason and woodcarver Ivan Novotny, and sculptor Franz Ehler of Vienna. A relief and two angels were also based on design by Italian-German painter Alexander Maximilian Seitz, while the drawings of the murals are by Alberto de Rohden. The pastel color palette and multitude of carved white statues kept my eyes and mind busy. I don't think I've seen a church contain so many statues. And like the City Hall and the Faculty of Islamic Studies, the cathedral also had reddish-brown and cream-thick horizontal stripes. The cathedral houses the tomb of Joseph Sadler, who served as the first Archbishop of the Archdiocese of Bosnia at the beginning of the 20th century and initiated the cathedral's construction. He is buried within the cathedral's compound. Sadly, during my visit, I didn't find the staff as warm as the Serbian Orthodox Church. They came across a little guarded and impatient towards the visitors, including me. Maybe they were just having a bad day. Either way, I didn't stay too long. Directly outside the main door, you'll find a 3-meter tall statue of Pope John Paul II, who visited Sarajevo in 1997, soon after the war ended, to send a message of peace and tolerance. The statue was unveiled in 2014 and made by Croatian sculptor Hrvoje Urumovic, who was born in Sarajevo but lives in Zagreb. Personally, maybe because I'm a Muslim and a traditionalist, I'm not too keen on statues in general, but this one was an exception. It felt perfect. It was made from a type of aluminium and added a modern and classy touch, especially when the sun beams down on it. It went with the cathedral, which is quite crazy when you remember that there's 125 years difference between the cathedral and the statue. Some things are meant to be together. Beyond the cathedral is the historic Gazi Huzrev Bey's Hammam, now operating as a museum. And to the left side of the cathedral is a modern gallery dedicated to the Srebrenica genocide. There's plenty of trendy restaurants and cafes around the cathedral. "15 minutes walk away from the two churches on the other side of the Miljaska River, not too far away from the Latin Bridge and Emperor's Mosque, is the Ashkenazi Synagogue. With the green mountains in the background and the synagogue located on the bank of the Miljaska, the location is something else. It was built in 1902, nearly 125 years ago, for Sarajevo's Jews. It's the first religious object to be built in Sarajevo in the Moorish revival style. At the time of its opening, it was the third largest Jewish synagogue in Europe. Up to the Second World War, Sarajevo had 7 synagogues, and this was the only Ashkenazi one. The other 6 were Sephardic. Even after the Second World War, when so many Jews were killed, the Ashkenazi synagogue remained the only active Jewish temple in the city. In the front of the Gazi Huzrev Beg Mosque is the Old Temple, the first synagogue to be built in Sarajevo in 1581, over 4 centuries ago. It was also the first synagogue to be built in whole of Bosnia and Herzegovina. It was built by Sephardic Jews after they were expelled from Spain fleeing the Spanish Inquisition. They found refuge under the protection of the Muslim Ottoman Empire and established the first Jewish community in Sarajevo in 1565. Sarajevo, then a thriving center of trade and cultural exchange, became a welcoming home. Some of the Jews also came through Italy and Dubrovnik in Croatia. These early settlers brought with them Ladino, their Judeo-Spanish language, and custom that would blend beautifully with the city's diverse traditions. At the end of the 19th century, Ashkenazi Jews joined them and settled here when Bosnia-Herzegovina became part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Both sets of Jews coexisted peacefully and worked with each other. They contributed widely to the development of the city, working as doctors, merchants, educators, and artists, for example, and establishing schools, synagogues, and cultural organizations. Today, the old temple operates as a museum of Jews, showcasing the old setup of the synagogue and holding Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. Sadly, I didn't have the time to explore inside. No doubt seeing the original surrounding that is over 400 years old would have been quite something. Today, local Jews, numbering around 500, attend service at Ashkenazi Synagogue. Prayer takes place at this synagogue, but the ceremony are held in the old temple. Visitors pay 5 marks entry fee to see the synagogue and are only allowed to take photos of the worship area and not video clips. Our tour guide Anya, a very serious looking short lady, was in fact a really warm, knowledgeable person with a cute smile. She knew her stuff. I learnt a lot from her regarding Jewish history in Sarajevo. Anya told us the 500 Sarajevan Jews were all Sephardic. There is no Ashkenazi Jew in Sarajevo. They are located in Croatia and Serbia. However, there are many fellow Jews in Mostar and Banja Luka. While the cream building is understated outside, I was stunned by how gorgeous the gallery floor was. The mixture of colors, artistry, and painting was on another level. The traditional red carpets along the middle made both the building and you feel very important. It's designed by the famous architect Carlo Parzic, who is believed to have been inspired by the synagogue in Budapest in Hungary. Ludwig Jungwirth was responsible for the construction, and the stunning interior painting was carried out by master painter Ludwig Wiesner. Originally, the synagogue used the entire height of the building. The ground floor was for men and the top gallery floor for women. But in 1965, the building was partitioned horizontally and the ground floor was used for community and social activities. The synagogue moved to the top gallery floor we see today. Now, women sit on the left side while men sit on the right. Anya said interfaith marriages are common in Bosnia and they had great bond with Muslims and Christians. During the Second World War, the Jews were protected by Bosnian and Croats from Nazis and Hitler. Back then, there were around 12,000 Jews who lived in Sarajevo, but only 2,000 survived the Holocaust. During the colder months from October to May, worshippers used the small area outside the main prayer hall as it has heating. Throughout the building are fascinating insight into Jewish faith and culture, like this pen-like object on the door. It contains a prayer from Rabbi. Every Jewish home, hospital, school, etc. has one of these. The synagogue is funded by donors and from other countries. In the hallway there's a plaque in Hebrew showing the first contributors. In 2015, the Jewish community of Sarajevo celebrates its 450 years of existence in the city. I loved my tour of the synagogue. Hearing from a Sarajevan Jew herself that Sarajevo was one of the few places in the world where both Jewish traditions coexisted peacefully and allowed to flourish was great to hear. It warmed my heart to know that the 3 powerful Semitic religions of Islam, Judaism, and Christianity could live side by side in harmony and help each other to grow. I can see why Sarajevo has the nickname Jerusalem of Europe. Working to uphold the culture of the Jews of Bosnia and Herzegovina is La Benevolencia, a Jewish cultural, educational, and humanitarian society founded in 1892. The organization received international plaudits for gallant effort during the Bosnian War of 1990s. Operating out of the Jewish Community Centre and an old synagogue, La Benevolencia helped everyone, be they Jews, Muslims, Serbs, or Croats by providing a public kitchen, a pharmacy dispensing life-saving medication, medical clinics, and even evacuation convoys organized with Jewish connections abroad. They certainly lived up to the name of the benevolent. In a role reversal from the past when Jews, often persecuted and marginalized in Europe, were helped by Muslims and Christians, now it was their turn to become rescuers and protectors. Among the famous Jewish historical artifacts is the world-renowned Sarajevo Haggadah. This is a medieval illuminated Hebrew manuscript written in 14th century which tells the story of the Exodus. A rare specimen, the Haggadah is currently showcased in the National Museum of Bosnia and Herzegovina in Sarajevo, not too far from the SSC shopping mall. On the opposite bank of the Miljaska River, parallel to the synagogue, is the former mansion of Yeshua di Salom, a prominent Jewish merchant. It was built in 1901 and designed by Joseph Vankas. This once exquisite building, which glowed with opulence when viewed from the synagogue, has sadly deteriorated over time. Now there are horrible graffiti along the bottom, and the building is slowly falling apart. And this was one of my frustrations with Sarajevo. The city is packed with so many beautiful and grand buildings, but many of them lack the care they deserved. They need cleaning, fresh paint, restoration, and protection from vandalism such as these ugly graffitis. I hope the relevant authorities will act fast on this. It was raining but sunny. There was an air of a monsoon about the whole thing. I decided to walk from my accommodation near the Emperor's Mosque in Old Town to the Jewish cemetery located between Urian Dedina and Travnicka, not too far away from the Sarajevo City Centre mall. It would take me over 45 minutes, but you can go there with a taxi also and ask the driver to wait for you outside if you're pressed for time. As I wandered through hillside houses and undulating lanes, this part of the city felt very peaceful. I approached the wrought iron arch of the entrance gate. In front of me was the second largest Jewish cemetery in Europe, after the one in Prague in Czech Republic. I had the whole cemetery to myself. It was founded in 1630 on a land gifted by Ottoman governor Gazi Huzrev Bey. There are some 3,850 tombstones here. The oldest dates from 1650 and mark the graves of the first rabbi of Sarajevo, Samuel Baruch, and his contemporary Macha Mukakon. Generally, I find cemeteries to be morbid. They weigh heavily on the heart, eyes, and mind. But this Jewish cemetery was different. It was beautiful. Perched on a hill, what makes this cemetery unique around the world is that the shape and motifs of the tombstones very closely resemble the medieval Bosnian steki. This is due to the fact that the cemetery was founded in the vicinity of the medieval necropolis in Borac, where many steki used to stand. This was next to the old Satoria quarry, from which stones were used for the steki as well as for the Jewish tombstones. On the highest point of the cemetery ground, there is a white pyramid, a monument dedicated to Jews who fell fighting during the Second World War and the victims of fascism who perished in concentration camps. There's a small but beautiful chapel near the entrance gate. The long staircase with large broken steps added to the mystique of the place. During the 1990s war, the Jewish cemetery tragically became a sniper outpost due to its elevated location. It was damaged badly due to mines and constant shelling. It was demined in 1998. A major restoration work was carried out, including cleaning and repairing some 300 tombstones. However, many of the tombstones still look neglected now, and the whole cemetery could benefit further from a little love and care. Today it stands again as a place of peace and remembrance, containing the departed souls of thousands of Sephardic and Ashkenazi Jews. Their gravestones, many carved in Ladino and Hebrew, reveal centuries of Jewish life in Sarajevo. In 2004, the entire cemetery was declared a national monument of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Like many places on the hill, the Jewish cemetery provided incredible panoramic view of Sarajevo. Seeing modern buildings springing up all corners among domes, minarets and church spires was quite something. The walk up to the Jewish cemetery and my time here was one of the highlights of my Bosnia trip. Back in Old Town or Starigrad, I made my way to Yellow Fortress and Kovaci Cemetery behind the city hall. Near the foot of the hill is the Kovaci Cemetery, the final and main resting place of those killed during the 1990s conflict, especially the soldiers from the Bosnian army. The area is arguably best known for being the final resting place of Alija Izetbegovic, the first president of the Independent Republic of Bosnia and Herzegovina, who famously led the country through the Bosnian War. His grave is marked by a striking stainless steel dome and white marble columns and a crescent-shaped water area with a fountain. There's a museum nearby dedicated to the former president, lawyer and philosopher. The cemetery sits gently on the slopes heading towards Vratnik, the town above, without dominating it. Sometimes it's also referred to as the Shaheed Cemetery or Martyrs Cemetery due to its historic Islamic roots. It is said some of the oldest tombs date as far back as the 15th century. As you trudge along the short but very steep hill, it's always funny to me to see the desperate exhaustion in people's face when they just realize how unfit they are. You will see the Mevlevi Tekke building, one of the first Islamic places of worship in Sarajevo. Also known as Isa Begova Takiya, it was originally built around 1462, over 560 years ago. It belonged to the Mevlevi Tariqat, a Dervish order, which started after the death of famous Sufi theologian, philosopher and poet Jalaluddin Rumi. During the course of its history, it was destroyed and rebuilt several times. This building as we see it today was financed by donation from the municipality of Selçuklu in Konya in Turkey and officially opened in 2013. Sadly, I knocked on a couple of days but nobody ever opened, nor was there any information on how to contact them. I continued to walk to the top of the hill known as Yellow Fortress. This was once one of the fortifications that made up the defensive wall of the old town, Ratnik. It's called Yellow Fortress as yellow rock was used in its construction. It had a small cafe and benches dotted around the edges. This spot provided the best view of Sarajevo in my opinion. Although the view from the top of Mount Trevovic is incredible, it's too high up. The Yellow Fortress is much lower, so you can see the details of the city more close up. I've taken so many drone shots over the years and have the privilege of seeing a place from up above through the screen. But nothing comes close when you're on the top of a hill or a mountain and see the world below with your own eyes. Subhanallah. God is great. At the top of the Yellow Fortress, there are perhaps 100 people watching this incredible panoramic view of Sarajevo from up above the Yellow Fortress. Now, when you think just a few meters down is this. Let me just show you, turn around. There you go. Just there is thousands and thousands of soldiers, people who fought for the land to free and give us this magnificent thing that we call freedom and justice. Ultimately, that's what the battle for Bosnia and Herzegovina was, right? People wanted independence, people wanted their own sovereign state, and it came at a cost. It came at a cost. But while we look at this 100 people and we enjoy their happiness, we enjoy their journey, everybody on that grave had that same expectation that was snatched away from them by the opposition forces. It's quite, I don't know, it's quite a bizarre feeling when you're at the top of the Yellow Fortress. There's a part of you that's incredibly blown away by the panoramic view, the breathtaking view of Sarajevo, but there's also parts of you that just dies with every step going up there because you see that sea of white graves. And what's quite alarming as well is when you go to the top of Sarajevo, when you go to the top of the fortress, you see this sea of graves everywhere. There's white graves everywhere. Now, part of it's credit to Sarajevo because they've made it exceptionally beautiful because it's all white, same design, same pattern, pretty much all over the city. But within that beauty lies a lot of tragedy, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, a lot of lives that was not only lost but also destroyed. Because when someone passes away and someone dies, part of us dies. And when that person has died through murder, genocide, rape, etc., you know, it's just, how do you live with that? You know, as a society, as a family, as community. So all respect to everyone within Sarajevo who's coping with that and has coped with it so gallantly as well. And yeah, I just don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of it. I love the resilience, I love the passion of the people, but when you see the sea of graves and then you realize that that's someone's son, someone's father, someone's brother, someone's friend, I don't know, it's difficult. It's really bizarre feeling. It's really bizarre feeling. And poetic and dark at the same time. That's all I can say. Poetic and dark. The locals love coming here to see the sunset. Apparently, it's also the spot where a cannon is fired at sunset during the Islamic month of Ramadan to mark the time for breaking the fast. I'd love to experience that. Just remember, the Yellow Fortress is very popular with both locals and tourists. Be mindful of others, as it's a fairly small area and is usually packed, with everyone trying to get the perfect camera shot. If you want to avoid all that, try coming early morning. Avoid coming late evenings, as the lack of proper lighting makes the Kovaci Cemetery and Yellow Fortress best viewed during daylight. Looking at the amazing views across the city, I was stunned to see an open amphitheatre next to the Kovaci Cemetery. I didn't know Sarajevo had an open amphitheatre. I could not wait to get down from the Yellow Fortress and see it. Running parallel to the cemetery, it was yet another pretty steep hike, but the reward is worth it. The outdoor event space is regularly used for religious, historical, state and cultural ceremonies like Odbrana Bosnia and Herzegovina or the defense of Bosnia and Herzegovina assemblies, the largest events of its kind in Bosnia and Herzegovina, dedicated to remembering those who lost their lives for the country and highlighting the achievements of the defense and liberation war. What is easy to miss is the Sarajevo Memorial Center at the bottom, which is built somewhat underground. Honestly, I didn't even spot it the first time I visited here. Sarajevo's creativity never fails to shock me. I came often to the amphitheatre with a sandwich and a drink and soaked in the calmness amongst the vast green space. Definitely worth the hike. There's more than 20 museums in Sarajevo. Not all are about the war, but many address this dark history. Among these are the National Museum, History Museum, Siege of Sarajevo, and Museum of Crimes Against Humanity and Genocide 1992 to 1995. However, I made a conscious decision not to visit any. I was 12 years old when the Bosnian War took place and saw the brutality live every day in the TV news in England. I have also seen plenty of wars throughout my life, including the recent genocide in Gaza, Palestine. And I've had a difficult few years on a personal level. So to protect my mental health, I didn't visit any war museum. It may have been selfish, but I'm being honest with you. However, one thing you cannot avoid are the curious-looking red splatters of paint on the pavements. These are little memorials known as Sarajevo roses, and there's around 200 of them scattered around the city. During the siege of Sarajevo, the city was bombarded with hundreds of grenades every day. The explosion marks or craters were later filled with red resin as a memorial of those who perished on the spot, and in recognition of the horror Sarajevans endured during the longest running siege of any capital city in modern history. A rose commemorates the places where at least 3 people were killed. I found this to be a commendable and fascinating way to deal with tragedy. At the end of Farhajia Street, where it meets Mullah Mustafa Bashashkiye, is the Vjecna Vatra, the eternal flame. It's a poignant memorial for Second World War victims. It was first unveiled on 6th of April 1956 for the first anniversary of the liberation of Sarajevo from the 4-year-long occupation by Nazi Germany and the fascist independent state of Croatia. The simple yet beautiful monument was designed by Juraj Nidhat, while the building was designed by Joseph Fankas and Karlo Parzik. The monument is made out of tiles that are inscribed with text in the colors of the flag of former Yugoslavia, blue, white and red. The inscription speaks about the courage and gratitude to those who sacrificed their blood for the liberation of Sarajevo. It's a symbolism for "We'll never forget you." The flame is on 24/7. It never goes out. Every year on 6th of April, the attendees of the memorial come here and lay flowers and pay respect to the liberators of the city and victims of both Second World War and 1992-1996 siege of Sarajevo, which also coincidentally started in the beginning of April. Sarajevo, like many other places in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is a land of hills and valleys surrounded by lush greenery and mountains. Yet it is this beautiful geography that became its worst enemy. Looking at these busy, vibrant roads with cafes and shops and so much life, it's hard to imagine this area was one of the deadliest during the Bosnian War. Sniper Alley was the informal name given to streets such as Ulijetska Zmaja od Bosne, or the Dragon of Bosnia Street, and Mesa Selimovic Boulevard, the main boulevard in Sarajevo, which during the Bosnian War was lined with Serbian snipers' posts. You dare not cross these roads unless you wanted to be shot dead. Locals were subjected to daily shelling and sniper fire. Signs reading "Pazi, sniper, watch out, sniper" became common. Mountains surrounding the city were also used for sniper positions, providing a safe distance and giving a view into the city and its traffic. Electricity, food, medicine, and basic necessities became scarce, and Sarajevo's multi-ethnic society was torn apart by violence and nationalism. Friends turned foes overnight. What's even more disgusting is the sniper safaris or sniper tourism that is alleged to have taken place during that time. It is said that rich, twisted people from abroad paid to kill innocent, defenseless civilians from safe positions in the hills around Sarajevo. Different rates were charged to kill men, women, or children, according to some reports, with children shooting charging the highest rate. May these demon-possessed assassins burn in hell. While these apartment towers are infamous, when you walk across the Miljaska River to the side, you can see the horrific brutality of that period, with bullet holes piercing many buildings. As I walked on the streets of Grbavica area, I was stunned by the number of apartments and buildings with bullet holes. You hear about this type of things and even watch videos on it, like this video of mine. But when you see it in person, you get chills all over your body. The dark times are tough, but it also gives an opportunity for heroes to arise. During the siege of Sarajevo, the city was almost completely surrounded by Serbian military forces and cut off from the rest of the world. In 1993, near the airport, Bosnian forces secretly dug an 800-meter long by 1 meter wide tunnel with an average height of 1.5 meters underneath the House of Kolar family. The tunnel went from the suburb of Butmir, under the runway of Sarajevo International Airport, to the district of Dobrinja, an area controlled by Bosnian forces and the United Nations. Known as the tunnel that saved Bosnia, it took around 4 months to dig by hand using pickaxes and shovels only. The only source of light the workers had was provided by war candles, containers filled with cooking oil and fitted with a wick made from string. For nearly 2 years, this tunnel was a lifeline. It was used to smuggle people, food, weapons, and humanitarian aid to the city, and allowed people to get out while artillery thundered overhead. It was the only connection Sarajevo had with the outside world. After the war, around 20 meters of the tunnel became part of a museum which contains many items from the time of the siege. Today it's known by various names such as Tunnel of Life, Tunnel of Hope, Tunnel of Salvation, War Tunnel Museum, or the Rescue Tunnel. In Bosnian language it's called Tunel Spasa or Ratni Tunil. I walked it there. It was a long, long day. Wow, it's been an absolute mission coming to here. It's Saturday, 2nd of May, the second day of Labour's Day or International Labour's Day, where it's like a national holiday in Bosnia. So I woke up 7 o'clock in the morning thinking, oh, you know what, the tunnel doesn't open till 8:30. I'll get there early, have a cup of tea somewhere around there, and then, you know, make my way into the tunnel itself. And went to the bus stop in Pijaca, near the Siblij fountain or Pigeon Square. I asked somebody and they went, oh, that's where you get the bus from. Met a couple of tourists from America who were also trying to go to the airport, and they were lovely. I had a quick little chat with them, and then suddenly a sister comes and goes, it's not this bus stop, it's the bus stop behind, you guys are in the wrong bus stop. So we sort of panicked and we're like, okay, maybe she seems like she knows what she's doing. We go, and then there's a few of our friends also waiting for the airport. Suddenly I see the airport bus go, and I was like, okay, this looks a bit weird, this doesn't feel like the right bus stop. I asked the taxi driver straight away who was parked there, and I was like, which is the bus stop, brother? And he goes, oh, it's the one that you just bloody missed, you know, it's the original one where we're standing. So that sister was really apologetic, you know, it wasn't her fault, it was an innocent mistake, because she was trying to go to the airport as well. Anyway, she I think we all then went to the original bus stop, waited, nothing was coming. The two people from America got a taxi and went to the airport, didn't bother telling me, which is fine. It is what it is. Some people are like that. So I waited, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? This bus is taking forever. And then a couple of brothers from Istanbul came. One spoke English, well, another one didn't. They were going to the airport as well, and they're like, oh, is this the right place? Spoke to them, and then we're all waiting, and then a local brother, he was a godsend, he was an angel in disguise. He said, oh, listen, I'm a tour guide, you guys need to go and get the tram instead. Even though the tram doesn't go there, it'll take you to Ilicia, and then from there you can get a taxi a bit quicker. The bus today is, with it being 2nd of May, it's like a holiday, and you got to wait a long time. And this bus timetable, thing here is only showing for the normal working time. With the asterisk, it shows you that you got to wait another 1 hour, get the tram, go to Ilicia and do that. So we went, okay, thank you, got on, and just before Ilicia we got off, and we thought, okay, so it looks like on the map it's quite near, the airport's quite near. Just behind the airport is the tunnel. I should be able to quickly walk it there and think and whatnot. So you got to remember, we waited 45 minutes in the bus. Then from where we got off to the airport, it was another 45-minute walk.
So, and then when I get to the airport, I was like, oh, finally got to the airport. Go through the airport. The tunnel's just behind the airport. Surely there's an entrance. There's no entrance. Then when you have to go all the way around the airport and go that way, and I was like, fucking hell, what is going on? It's just a mission. So I've just walked another 45 minutes and just a few minutes away from the bus stop now. But you know what's kept me going? This. Look at that view. Look at that view. What a view, what a view. That view is what's been keeping me going. I was like, you know what, persevere, persevere, persevere. 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes or so. 2 hours, 15 minutes of waiting, walking, at least an hour and a half of walking. Finally, alhamdulillah, nearly there. Quite symbolic actually. It's quite symbolic if you think about it, because the tunnel took 6 months for all those brave individuals to use a shovel and pixel, things of pixel axe and all that to carve out the tunnel. And I've just walked, and then they did that during the wartime. Under threat of their lives, their families, the whole country, etc. During genocide, whereas I'm walking freely, but it's still, it's sort of that 2.5 hours sort of felt like, that I'm not going to compare, but you know what I'm getting at, that the level of patience that you need and perseverance and the physical toil. I got a drop of, not even a drop, even that's insulting. I guess I'm just trying to say that it's quite symbolic, and let's leave it at that. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Looking forward to this. I've avoided every museum within Bosnia. Avoided, other than going to the Kovaci cemetery. I'm not going to like Srebrenica or nothing like that. One of my cousins did ask me to go there, and I was like, listen, I don't want to go into that dark space. It's too difficult. And we see, growing up, you see genocide and war all over the world. It's non-stop. So I thought, no, I don't want to be doing that. But this looks super interesting, simply because it's hand carved and it's next to the airport as well. So really looking forward to this, and inshallah, not far away now. Utro. After you, buddy, after you. There you go. Well done. And we walk together. He doesn't want to be in it? Okay, just I'm gonna walk. Ready? Come. Yeah. Okay. We walk. Come. Ready? Together, ready? Yeah. Let's go. Okay. So the ticket cost 20 marks for an adult and I think 8 marks for a child.
As soon as you enter, on your right is the entrance to the original tunnel underneath Koller family's house. Spot the door above the tunnel. This is the door to the city. When you close this, you close over 250,000 people inside the city.
Yeah, so sadly the restoration work happening, so it's closed. So disappointing. You can barely see any of the tunnel, and it's 20 marks, which is roughly about £9-10. Yeah, I'm gonna spend a few minutes here just to think about, just to take it in rather than constantly record, take it in with my own eyes and heart. But yeah, just to let you guys know, it is closed off. You can't see anything. You can barely see anything.
The whole complex is surreal. On the one side you have old ladies farming on their land. On the other side is a busy runway of a capital city, and in between you have a rectangular shaped war museum. Within the compound there is an open area containing short videos of the tunnel and many historical photos relating to it. They provide context without sensationalism. Please watch these clips. I made the stupid mistake of watching it briefly. I regret rushing and not soaking it in properly. Next to the open area are a few cabinets where you can watch the documentary in privacy with family and friends. After this is a 100-meter long demo or replica tunnel, which gives visitors a chance to experience what the tunnel is like. I didn't know about this. Thankfully, an elderly gentleman visitor from Austria had told me about it after I expressed my disappointment at the closure of the original tunnel. More than 200 men volunteered to dig non-stop through the mud and clay, often in waist-deep freezing cold water, working shoulder to shoulder. They knew on the other side were families, normal people who had nothing to do with the war. They had to carry on. Nothing was going to stop them, not even bombs and bullets.
I was wrong. That was the original one. What they have is a demo one to give you an idea of what it was like. So again, I'm sorry. I apologize to the authorities and to everybody else for my misunderstanding. An uncle from Austria who said to me that there's a demo one here. Wow, this is long, and I'll just give you an idea of how long it is. I think it's pretty much the same as the other one. I was so disappointed. I was like, oh God, you see the original? And then I didn't know that was I thought that was the only one. I didn't realize there was a demo one here. So yeah, this is absolutely crazy. Absolutely surreal experience. I'm 5'7", and it nearly touches my head. This is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece on how they done this, how they made this. Look at this.
The tunnel sheltered pipes and cables to provide electricity and communication to parts of the city, helping residents to endure 1,425 days of brutal warfare, the longest siege of a capital city in modern European history. Even though the demo tunnel is only 1/8 of the length of the original, the walk felt endless. If you're claustrophobic, I'd recommend not walking all of it.
Honestly, if you look at the wood, the thickness of the wood is incredible. The way they built this, Even this demo one is phenomenal. If the demo one's like this, the real one, wow, the real one will give me goosebumps. But just look at the effort that they've made to put everything together. Yeah, it's honestly, through this tragedy, this complex history in this Balkan region, this is a masterpiece of work. Even this demo alone, let alone the real one, gives me, honestly, just gives me goosebumps thinking about it, you know.
The museum tour really plays with your emotion. One minute you're marveling at the heroics of the tunnel diggers and how people came together to fight adversity, and the next minute you're jumping like a little child watching the planes fly off from the airport runway. When you're visiting the complex, give yourself a few hours to take it all in. It's a lot. I paid cash in local currency for entry ticket. It's best to do that, as I heard they don't take card or foreign currencies.
That was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. Really, really moving. Incredible stuff. Firstly, I'd like to thank the staff for allowing me to record. I did get the permission, and they said as long as I'm not using commercially, it should be fine. Secondly, I'd like to thank from the bottom of my heart to the Austrian uncle who told me about the demo tunnel, because when I saw the first part and it was blocked off, I was a bit baffled. But the Austrian uncle was really, really nice. We had a short little interaction, and he was incredible. So if you're watching this, uncle, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. The experience has been amazing. I didn't realize there was that section there. There's a demo section as well, where you can, an open demo where you can see videos of original footage, or there's small private rooms as well where you can sit down with your family and watch it. It's amazing what they've done, and those footage, I highly recommend everyone to watch it. My request to every content creator out there, if you do come along here, obviously get the permission, number one. Secondly, record few minutes of what the demo tunnel is like, but more importantly, switch off your camera and go the second time around and take it in by yourself and whatnot. So don't just record and then go, because you want to soak it in, and you want to take it in for yourself. As content creators, we have a huge dilemma where time is short. Most of us are just normal human beings. No one's paying for me, at least anyway. I fund everything all by myself.
Hello, taxi.
Taxi to Iliad. What's that place? Iliaja or Iliaja? Ilija. How much to?
50 mark.
50.
15.
1.5.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, that's too much. Too much to Ilija. Little bit less. 10. Do 10, brother. Come on. I put you there as well. Come on, me and you go 10. Come on. 10, brother. Come on, brother. 10. Okay, 15 is too much to Elijah just there. 15 is too much. Okay, come on. So yeah, my man roped me in for 15 marks. I'm too tired to walk. I tried to negotiate for 10. He wasn't having it at all. Smart guy, following me. Perfect example of how I fund everything by myself. But yeah, as I said, as a content creator, we're short for time. we want to record everything, capture everything, show everything, but soak it in for yourself as well. It's a difficult balance. It's a difficult balance because we want to show to the rest of the world, and a lot of the time we see it through the lenses of a camera or a mobile. This type of thing, do your section like you have to, like I have, and then ultimately go and watch it for yourself. So sit down, watch the demo, at least minimum 10 minutes, and then go through that demo tunnel twice, and maybe even have another quick look at the original once you've gone through the demo, because then you can appreciate the original tunnel even more. Thank you again to all the authorities, and there it is. You hear?
My only recommendation to the museum authorities is that their staff tell the visitors about the replica tunnel, or maybe even reroute visitors that way before visiting the original tunnel. That way we can be more educated and appreciate the magnitude of the tunnel better. Near the Sacred Heart Cathedral are two historic markets, Pijaca Markale and Gradska Tržnica. The Pijaca Markale is a colorful outdoor market with vendors selling a variety of vegetables and fruits. It is said to be the oldest open-air market in Sarajevo. I visited it first thing in the morning when the sellers were still getting ready. They were a little camera shy. The cold morning breeze didn't help either. Nevertheless, it was fascinating to walk through the multitude of fresh and lush vegetables and fruits with its riots of colors and high quality products.
Pa ćemo da kasi uvo.
Pa ja, kad dođe mirom radi.
During the siege of Sarajevo, the Pijaca Markale was shelled multiple times, attacks which killed dozens of civilians. There's a Sarajevo rose in a corner marking that spot.
It's just gone past 7 in the morning, and as you can see, the people are still setting up because this market opens around about 6 o'clock, I think it is. So yeah, incredibly hard workers. It's beautiful, beautiful, green, and it's smaller than what I expected. But in terms of area space, but it's packed with a lot of independent stores who've obviously grown this with a lot of hard work, and they're showing the signs of their labor. And yeah, I'm freezing. I came here first thing in the morning. I've got a cold. Sarajevo in April, in spring, it's a cold place, and it's dry but it's cold. And so all respect to everybody who's going to be here for the next few hours, trying to obviously selling vegetables and fruits and flowers and all that to local people. And yeah, there's a good camaraderie amongst all this stallers as well, the stall holders, and lovely to see. It's sight for sore eyes because literally the whole street, especially the buildings around it, is it has a lot of famous landmarks, but it also has very strong Eastern European buildings and whatnot. And then when you come here, it's an explosion of color, and it smells nice as well. So yeah, beautiful hidden market, which is obviously known by the locals, and yeah, I'm sure it's very hustle. There's a lot of hustles and bustles. I may pop down later if I got time, and if not, I hope you guys have a good glance of what it's like anyway.
Just a short walk away on the opposite side stands the back entrance of the Grand Gradska Tržnica indoor market hall, which you can easily mistake as a concert hall. Built in 1895 during the Austro-Hungarian period, the Gradska Tržnica, which translates to city market, was a marvel of its time, featuring Sarajevo's first steel girder roof. Over a century later, it still functions as a bustling local market with neatly arranged stalls offering everything from meats, cheese and treats. It's not like your typical meat market where it stinks and overpowers you. The Gradska Tržnica is like an art gallery, clean, well organized, professional and smelling great. It's not what I expected. I visited the Gradska Tržnica often to experience the everyday rhythm of the city. I found the vendors and customers very friendly. And though many do not speak English, their warmth comes across in their body language and smile. It was one of my favorite places to visit in whole of Sarajevo.
So he's a farmer from Visoko, so this is his farm. He's very famous. Him and his brother have been doing, they have a farm where they do everything and whatnot. And he supplies to a lot of famous places like Travnik and places like that. And this is his friend also who's been translating on my behalf, and he's very good. He has a store here and they're incredibly hard workers and they always keep it clean. This lady is funny. He was a miner before. What's your name, brother? Is it Ramis? No, you Ramis is his name and whatnot. Yeah, his whole family has been working here for such a long time, in this industry for such a long time. The lady's having a go at me because I can't pronounce it properly, but it's called Hurmasha, right? Hurmashisa. I think that's the 10th time she's told me now and I've completely forgot. There you go, syrup-based biscuits type of thing. Petite little coffee as well. And the sugars and everything to go with it. God, this coffee is nasty, man. So strong. So strong, so bitter. Bismillah. Amazing, amazing. She's happy now. She's happy now. Delicious, absolutely delicious. Syrup based. You can feel the sugar as well, and a little bit like jalebi. No, not jalebi, sorry, gulab jamun. A lot like gulab jamun, but with a lot more texture. But that coffee is nasty. That's why it's so small.
I loved meeting Ramiz and Rehan, both incredible human beings. Rehan had a perfect grasp of English, not surprising as he had once worked for United Nations. We talked for a long time and discussed meeting up again in the near future. I look forward to meeting both of them again, inshallah. From the historic to the super modern. Less than a mile away in downtown Sarajevo is Marindor neighborhood, where the business complex and public administration centers of Sarajevo truly begins. University campuses, museums such as the National Museum and the railway station and bus station are within walking distance. It's part of the Sarajevo content creators don't show or hardly ever show. All the focus is on Stari Grad, the old town. People around the world should find out that Sarajevo is way more than that.
Sljedeće stajalište. Tehnička škola.
Marindor famously has the Sarajevo City Centre or SSC mall. This provides all the things you'd expect from a brand spanking shopping complex, such as global brands, entertainment and leisure activities, and wide range of restaurants and cafes. It also has a 5-star Swiss hotel tower. And sticking with the 5 theme, it even has a -5 floor in the elevator, which I've never seen before. From the old town, you can get a tram or a taxi, but I prefer to walk it there. What I love about Sarajevo is that the old historic areas and the modern areas are not vastly different. In many cities around the world, they almost exaggerate the differences. It feels forced. Whereas in Sarajevo, both areas fit in and transition beautifully. Wherever you visit, Sarajevo remains classy.
Sljedeće stajalište. Univerzitet. Univerzitet.
You just go straight 5 minutes. You will see the bus.
One of the cool things to do is to go to the tram depot on the corner of Mesa Selimovic Boulevard and Sardana Alexice Road in Otoka district. I spotted it the first day I landed in Sarajevo and automatically added it to my bucket list.
Sorry, Islam. How cool is this tram depot? I remember going on the first day with the boss and noticing this and took a screenshot of the address. I was like, you know what, I need to come here. Mission complete. Let's see if I can go that way. Not sure about this one though. Yeah, not the best of words. Has different meaning, I guess, but let's go back. So many here. It's incredible. It's an incredible view. They should make it into a museum. I'm sure it is a museum. I've just walked in. Probably get told off, but it is what it is.
My 7-day stay in Sarajevo filled my heart with joy and re-energized me. Sarajevo will forever remain one of my favorite cities in the world. In the next part of my Bosnia and Herzegovina series, I'll show you many of the delicious and national halal food and drink I had during my stay in this incredible country. I'll also show you how to travel with train from Sarajevo to the iconic city of Mostar. See you soon, inshallah.